It is what it is. We must retreat for now and regroup and hopefully re-strengthen heading into next season. But we are out of the playoffs. Game 7, second round against the Leafs. Our AHL team, one win away from going back to the Calder Cup final. We'll switch our attention over to them. And they are indeed going back to take on the Grand Rapids Griffins in the Calder Cup final. Again, the defending champions are Lincoln Loan Sharks. It's 2-2. Not going to worry too much about the celebration if we were to get it. And there it is. Okay, so we do get some positive news in the form of the Lincoln Loan Sharks winning the Calder Cup. The Stanley Cup final, Toronto versus Calgary. It wouldn't be the first time that we've lost to the Leafs and they've gone on to win the Cup. Make that, as Trillionaire just pointed out in chat, 3 seasons in a row in which we have lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champion. Toronto twice and Edmonton directly in the final last year. We do have some good news. This would not be popping up unless Jack had won the Vezina. Good job, Jackie. Good job. +2 division, +3 to poise, and a potential likelihood increase. Jack wins the Calder in year 1, wins the Vezina in year 2. He didn't have the strongest playoffs, but I still believe in him. But yeah, that is 3 straight seasons of losing to the eventual Cup champions, Toronto, Edmonton, and then Toronto. Oilers have now won 3 of the 5 Stanley Cups. Canadian dominance over the last 2 years as the Leafs ended up beating Calgary in 6 games in the final. Looking at the awards, Austin Matthews won the Art Ross Trophy. William Nylander won the Hart. The Norris to Cale Makar for the 3rd time in a row and the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. Nylander wins the Bing. The Calder to Prab Bathal. Conn Smythe to William Nylander. The Vezina. Good job, Jack. Good job. He also won the Jennings for the 2nd year in a row. Dude named LeMay won the Masterton. Seattle's coach won the Jack Adams. Barkov wins the Selke for the 3rd time in 4 years. Matthews the Ted Lindsay. And Matthews the Rocket Richard. In the AHL, it is back-to-back Calder Cup crowns for the Lincoln Loan Sharks. Very nice for us. Prevolov with the most points scored for Chicago. William Moore was league MVP. Foss, top goal scorer. McLean, top rookie. Solovyov, top defenseman. Dobes, the top... I don't know if it's Dobes. Top goaltender, though. And Stenberg was the MVP for our Loan Sharks. Not bad. Not bad. So AHL-wise, still looking good. NHL-wise, still looking good. But we might have to make some changes that we didn't quite expect to have to make previously. Caulfield, still improving. Sandin, we know, was probably gone. Issa Turcotte looking good. Drysdale, still no gold. Same for Haig. Jackie, high elite for Jack at 22 years old. Harris, Orpik looking good. So I'm going to guess we didn't win the Calder. We knew that, though. Obviously, we didn't win the Calder. I don't have to guess. I was going to say, in regards to the Calder, that I guess it's not all that bad because Orpik is still good. Him being high elite would have been nice, though. Ratu, Olesen, Weissblatt. Diorio still looking good. Kevin He, up to an 83. We'll see if he makes the team next year. Stenberg, no improvement. Interesting. No crazy development from anybody unexpected, though. Except for Brock Cripps, who is going to be, again, Sandin's direct replacement. So it is nice that we have Brock Cripps ready to step up. Stranges is furious with me. I can't see morale from here. He's fucking furious. That relationship is probably broken. Yeah, nothing too crazy in terms of development. That's okay. It's okay. B4, what's going on? So we set our sights on the draft, but actually before that, one last look at Sandin. Right? Because the near daily 20 bits from B4. Thank you. Again, we have all of these RFAs, except for Cam Fowler, who we'll let go of if he doesn't retire. It's just Sandin. Aiden Hill's deal is up. There's a very good chance I keep Aiden Hill as a backup. Very good chance. But Rasmus wants $12 million. He gone. We can't afford it. The most we can afford to spend on somebody right now, which again is 6% of the cap, the most that we can spend is $6.35 million. That is the most that we can spend. $6.35 million. So needless to say, Rasmus Sandin is on the way out. We'll probably trade his rights at the draft. So, draft lottery up next. Pittsburgh Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes both move up. You got Nashville, Washington, and St. Louis rounding out the top 5. Sandin wants term too. Oh yeah, he's looking to cash in, which is fair. In terms of player retirements, Ovechkin is gone, finishing with 980 goals. The Capitals fucking traded him to Anaheim because we traded him back to the Caps. Patrick Kane's gone. Steven Stamkos, Claude Giroux, Artemi Panarin. Kadri 5 points short of 1,000. Perron was 16 short. And defensively, Roman Josi, John Carlson, OEL, Goss Despair. Some other notable names in there. And then for goalies, Markstrom, Martin Jones, Jake Allen. Fair enough. Nazem Kadri becomes the coach. See if he's a future Jack Adams winner. The 2029 NHL draft. What do we have? What do we have going on? Nobody in the top 10 wants to trade their pick, so it's going to be very difficult for us to try to move up. We have the 28th overall pick and quite a few seconds and thirds. So goalie-wise, we could look to move McCauley for the trade value. I'm going to cash out on Daig. Like, he's not worth a ton, but I'm going to cash out on him. You know, because in the time that, you know, we got 1 year left for Ivankovic. I guess you could argue keep Daig, but the problem is he's going to be 23. I think I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure his potential is about to drop. The most we can get for him is a third or a fourth anyway. I feel like we've already messed up his development. So let's just cash out now. Because Aiden Hill is going to stay. So we got Harenstam, we got Frolov. It's not that tough to find another goalie. But yeah, we're going all in on banking on Ivankovic. I mean, we have him for at least 4 more years, right? RFA status. 3. Is there anything anybody wants for McCauley directly? 2nd round pick from the Panthers. Let's see, that was 63rd. The 45th pick from the Sharks. We'll take that. That's nearly a first rounder. So we'll send McCauley out to the Sharks because, again, I don't think he's going to develop. Defensively, Rasmus Sandin signing rights. Again, our defense next year, Drysdale, Harris, Hagen, Cripps. Sandin, 25th overall pick for his signing rights, but it's to an Eastern Conference team. Although that could cripple the Bruins. They might not be able to afford him. 29th from Colorado. The 18th overall pick from Columbus. Michael Bunting. Ooh, yes. The 14th overall pick from Vancouver. Perfect. If he does sign there, it's in the Western Conference, and hopefully he hurts Connor McDavid. Sandin to Vancouver for the 14th overall pick. Done deal. Thank you so much, Rasmus, for your tenure. But it's time for you to go. It's time. I'm a little bit worried about Osborne and McCarthy long term. A little bit worried. They might not get traded yet, but they could. We also have some scrub-a-dubs here that we could move on from if I pair these guys together. They're just going to have to be tack-ons if we try to move up, which is fine. I doubt these low fours are going to make it. Yeah, they're going to have to be tack-ons too. So in terms of trade value, Henrik's at 23, Suryatsky, we'll see what happens with those guys. Right wing side, Cole Caulfield, of course, is still fine. Ozzy. What are we going to do with Ozzy? That trade value for Ozzy Weissblatt's crazy because he was a waiver pickup, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was a waiver pickup or just like a random nothing trade. $4.9 million for 8 years, in theory, isn't bad. Especially for a third liner that can put up points like that. He's a good player to have. I want to at least see what the value would be. Sanheim, a fourth. Yeah. Ozzy might not make the team. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely have some other players here. I was going to say if I could trade Kiiskinen, I will. Even if it's for a fifth. He was a tack-on in a trade last year, so nothing special. What's the highest pick? 139. It's like 139 is probably the highest. We'll send him to Carolina. Check Ozzy in the playoffs. I mean, that is a concern. That is absolutely a concern. He's not a big playoff performer. But also, he's not supposed to be. He's hitting people, but not as much as I'd want. The giveaway takeaway ratio also isn't amazing. 19 hits in 14 games with 95 aggression and 93 body checking. Doesn't really feel like he's doing his job then, does it? Just over a hit per game with those stats? Maybe we do look for a trade if something comes up. Maybe we do. I'm going to continue to just try to flip people if trades are there. At least for guys that we know pretty much aren't going to develop at all. Kind of rebuild the AHL a little bit. Let's see, pick 219, pick 217 from Ottawa, 212 from Vancouver. That works. We just got certain dudes that we can flip here. Grachev has a chance of making the NHL, maybe. Let me double check the defense. I'm going to do some wheeling and dealing here. Love for what's going on. No kidding. Can I deal Cam Fowler's rights? No. Can I deal Solnishkin? 164, 152. Take 151 from Ottawa. Yeah. Whoops. Well, didn't say, I don't know why I said whoops. It's not like I did anything wrong. It's just, the pick went through. So yeah, Solnishkin, you're not going to be anything special. We'll take that deal from Ottawa. Anything else that we can do here, just in terms of certain pieces to move on from before the value dips? I don't think Corrado's really worth anything. Henriks might be able to make the team. Pakaslati, can't move you for anything. And everywhere else we're fine, except for Mikanov, who's trash. Nobody wants him. Corey, did Haig turn it around? He did. He did. He was much happier as a second liner. Second pairing guy, I should say. See, left wing side, Orpik, Turcotte, Lawson, Spence. A lot of guys in the mix here. I think if somebody wants Gleb, we can trade him. Third round pick wouldn't be bad. 91st from Boston. I'd rather have picks than players. 81, courtesy of the Rangers by way of Detroit. 78 from San Jose. We take on Cody Ceci, and then we get rid of him. Yeah, we'll take the 78th pick from the Sharks, send Gleb out west. Teddy Stiga, I don't think you're going to make the cut. 4th round, let's see, we got pick 124. 105 from Buffalo. That was a 4th rounder, was it not? Yeah, it was. I don't think anyone's offering a 3rd round pick. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, pick number 105 is looking like the best we can get. We'll take that deal from Buffalo. Coco might make it. Wale might make it. Mustard. Bjorkstrand's not really going to be worth anything. Nor is, well, Carrier might actually be able to get us something. He's not bad, but Carrier and Karamov could both go as well. 5th rounder. 5th rounder, 158. 5th rounder, 144. So we are just sending the San Jose Sharks a hell of a lot of prospects that probably aren't going to make it for us, but might make it for them. Which is fine by me. 153. We'll take that deal from Vegas for Karamov. It's the left wing side cleaned out. And then for centers, again, some other trades might still happen. We'll do right by Stranges and try to trade him. I just don't really see... Like, he is on a good deal. But you talk about the centers that we have now with Misa and Ratu. Granted, Misa has to be signed. But I just don't see how Antonio fits the bill as a second-line playmaker, you know? Let's see, 2 third-rounders, and of course that deal goes through. That's a good pick for Nashville. Carolina done goofed. But yeah, obviously Stranges at slightly lower value than what we could have traded him for previously, but Andrew Basha, I'd honestly still rather have the picks. 2 third-rounders looks to be the way to go. I'd only rather have the picks because we know that we already have a bunch of people vying for the same spot. So send Antonio out west to Colorado. You know, after a loss like that, you got to make some changes. You got to do it. Can I get anything for Elenos? 5th rounder. 158 from the Islanders. All right, you are on your way to the island. He's a center who can't win faceoffs. Can I get anything for Huxley? No. Can I get anything for Iliakis? How the hell does that guy have trade offers? That's insane. I don't want anybody they're offering him for. But yeah, so we have a lot of picks now in this draft, including the 14th overall, which means we can now take a look at who's out there, and overextending for one of these top 5 players is absolutely the way to go. Unless any of these guys are NHL ready. Polak's 1 year out. Breland's 1 year out. It's 2 years out. Kavasha's NHL ready. 9th overall. Wenberg's 1 year out. Wennerberg, I should say. Pre-stop, NHL ready. Milroy, 1 year out. Caden Black is NHL ready. Okay. Yves Robichaud, NHL ready. Okay, so we can overextend, or we just trade up like once towards the 10th overall pick, and we're probably fine. So yeah, there's some depth in this draft. We could go for the medium elite, or we could go for the medium 4, medium 6s that have high overalls to start. There's also a goalie in the first round, Kirill Koltsov. That could be the next goalie project. The Ukrainian, 6'4". We're looking at that guy. We are definitely looking at that guy. That's not even a question. A lot of guys are 3 years out. Belak. Goran's 4 years out. Okay, it looks like the quality starts to dip at the end of the first round. 3 years, 3 years, 3 years for Bonks. And there goes Sterling. I think St. Louis will probably make this pick before I get to do anything. But that's okay. bonks. We don't know what his potential is. Yeah, looks like that super high quality eventually dips. Not surprising. Okay. So, we want that goalie at around 25. Aside from that, we do have the 14th pick, leaving Robichaud, Bowdens, or Fiddler. I mean, if Yves Robichaud's there, we're fine. So I don't think we necessarily have to trade up. I mean, we probably could. Bedrick Pollock's a year out. Breland's a year out. Let's remove the guys that are a year out and only look at the dudes that are NHL ready. Pre-stop. Milroy's a year out. Caden Black is NHL. There's a lot of guys who are NHL ready right out of the gates. Okay. So, picks 9, 11, 13, 14. Colts off at 25. So do we have the... man, I don't know. I think we just get... I mean, there's 2 forwards, 2 defensemen, and 2 goalies. Right? Kavasha at 9 would be a nice pickup because he's 17. Robichaud and Pre-stop are both 18. Robichaud... unconfirmed puck on a string, but 3 out of 4. It's pretty close. So maybe Robichaud, Kavasha. Can we get the 9th overall pick if Kavasha's still there? There goes Breland. There goes Cools. All right, let's talk to the Rangers. See if we can pull off a good little deal here without using either of those 2 picks. So you're talking a hell of a lot of seconds. What about 43rd and 45? And what about 61? Still not enough. And the 74th in the 3rd round. There we go. All right, we do have the first rounder of the Rangers for 3 seconds and a third. That's going to allow us to take this Russian defenseman Igor Kavasha as an OFD, 78 overall, medium top 4. Again, 17 years old, so he has that dev time. And really good skater out of the gates. OFD, maybe not, though. Might be a future 2-way. He is also a right D that's left-handed, so we'll see what happens there. We probably got a little bit of work to do with him. We're keeping the 14th pick. Winterberg's off the board. Pre-stop. Milroy, will Philly screw us over? No, they won't. Perfect. So with the 14th pick, we'll get the Canadian Yves Robichaud, who is also NHL ready. A Joe Thornton comparison, which doesn't make too much sense to me, but 77 overall, medium top 6 playmaker. Didn't have puck on a string, but does have silver all alone. Good skater. Playmaker's fair. I mean, he's well-rounded. I can see why he's a playmaker, but we could turn him into whatever we needed to. And then, Dallas. Looking to trade that 24th pick, which is one that we want, for our 28th. I am a little bit worried about the goalie, to be honest. Now, yeah. You know, the good thing is we don't need the extra picks. Let's move up to 18 with Columbus. We'll take him early. I want to make sure I get him because he should be pretty much a slam dunk pick if you see a goalie in the first round. 28th and 76, not enough. 28, 76, and 78 is enough. So we get a forward. We get a defenseman. And with the 18th overall pick, we will take the Ukrainian goaltender, first round projection, 6'4", 18-year-old Kirill Koltsov. Listed as only 4 years out instead of the typical 5. 60 overall, medium elite. That's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. And at least that way we have another goalie in the system after trading Gabriel Daig. So that's not bad at all. 3 pretty damn solid picks to try to stock the cupboards back up. And of course, we knew that the end of the first round, rest of the second was pretty barren. Let's see if there's anybody worth trading for here, or worth drafting here. Alex Matsumoto, 3 years out, so he'll be like a mid-60s. Corvo's 3 years out. Is there anybody above 3 years out? Because we know that's pretty much a mid-60 overall. It's not looking too good. All right, let's look by potential. Confirmed high elite goaltender Manny James. Confirmed medium elite goaltender Damon Eakin. 3 out of 4 medium elite defenseman Carter McQuaid, who is an overager. And then we got a bunch of 2 out of 4 medium elites. So black and yellow, what's going on? Appreciate it. So we'll add Matsumoto, we'll add Bolesky, because 3 years out. Collins 4. Timothy Rammer's 5 years out. Sotheby's 5. How many more 2 out of 4s do we have? Papineau's 5. Good chance that Papineau's a medium elite, but it looks like we might be able to aim high here. We won't worry about any of those 1 out of 4s. 3 out of 4 low elite Cam Hannon, not Hamrin. Then 2 out of 4s, unconfirmed 3 years out. I'm not worried about the 2 out of 4s yet. We'll take them later. Confirmed medium 6 Ukrainian Sergei Nikulin, but he's 5 years out. So that's pretty rough. 5 years, 5 years, 4 years. Wrigley, 5 years. Okay. Well, we do have some players then towards the top of the board. Right? We do have that. Actually, if we sort back by potential. When's our next pick after pick 50? 54. Okay. So was there anybody on our board? I guess Matsumoto was, so was Corvo. Corvo, not so much, though. Could take the chance on Alex Matsumoto from the Windsor Spitfires. If it's not him, we trade down and take Cam Hannon. I mean, yeah, we'll give Matsumoto a chance. Why not? 62 medium 6, that's why. To be honest, when's our next pick after this? 87? Who's projected around 87? It's not Hannon. It would be, you got Bolesky as a risk pick, especially as an overager. Manny James at 82. Let's take Manny now. It's not a big deal. Let's go for Manny James. High elite goalie, 48 overall. That is just pure trade value. He's never going to develop. But it's nice to get that type of long shot goalie that, you know, if we need to pull off a trade, he'll help a lot. Who else do we have here? Next guy that we have pinned is Carter McQuaid. Medium elite defenseman. Problem is he's 19 years old and only a 56. Son of Adam in our timeline, Carter McQuaid. And after that, anybody else? It's a while, but then you have Nikulin, who we will take. Solely for the trade value, 57 overall. Super, super long shot. We have back-to-back picks here at the end of the third round. We're just going to keep going. The last guy that we really were worried about was Damon Eakin. So, goalies being free trade value, then now forever. So now's the time where we can just start risking it for these long shots. Or trade the picks, which we might as well risk it, you know? We might as well risk it. 3 out of 4 for the medium 6s. It's not my favorite to go for, but... And 3 out of 4 for a medium 4. Okay. How are we on starter goalies? Not so good. All right, who's next on our list? Timothy Rammer. 55 medium 6. Not particularly great. What about Jonah Hunwick? Cape Breton. Medium 9. Yeah, I got a hunch most of these guys aren't going to be particularly good, but it's still worth an effort. Let's take Nikolai Kravchenko, an overage winger who's only a medium 9 and a 61, so he's pretty shit. Who's next on our board? Nicholas Sotheby, the big 6'7" defenseman. Medium 6 enforcer. 53 overall. He'd be good for Goon Squad. That's for sure. Toby Howden, Vancouver Giants, low 9. We go to the 5th round. This is looking a bit barren. Let's go for the goaltender, Georges Papineau. Medium elite, 48 overall. We at least got a goalie with some trade value. Another one, I should say. Let's take Jalen Brigley. Medium 6, 49 overall. It's trade value. I feel like I'm on fucking Storage Wars being like, yeah, you see this dryer here from 1942? I can get $700 for that. Like, that's basically what this feels like. Esa Latikainen. We love our Finns. Low elite, 62 overall at 19. That's not awful. It's not great. It's not awful. Who else do we have? Who else is on the board? Oh my god. Are we out of people? No, we're not. Next player up, Keaton Polishek. What do we got for you, Keaton? Medium 7th. Pick number 158. Still in the 5th round. Let's go for Damon Eakin, son of Dallas. Another medium elite goalie. Well, we're not going to have any troubles pulling off trades in the future with sweeteners, you know? Tim McCarty. Low 9. Hate to see it. What'd you call a draft in Storage Wars terms? An opportunity. Marco Marjamaki. Low bottom 6. Good lord. And the final guy, Skylar Yip. Dreadful. Okay. Well, we're in the 7th round. Let's look for a meme. Who's the tall boy? Who's a tallman? Who's the tallest? 6'6". Reese Christensen or Kai Luhi? Who's the shortest? Bunch of people at 5'8". Well, this guy is 18. This dude's 19. Let's go for Kai Luhi. Low 7th. And then one more pick in the 7th round. So yeah, we ended up with a lot of trash. A whole lot of trash. Turns out, oh, the other guy's gone. All right, who's the short king? Who weighs the least amount? 163, Jalen Jennings. But he is 19. 175, Daniel Vauclair. Or Ned. Oh, gotta be Ned. Go for Ned. He's terrible. You're all terrible. Hate to tell you. A lot of draft picks, most of them worthless, but it is what it is. I'm not too concerned. So, gets us to the re-sign phase. Cheval Dave, who's been our head coach for the most part, is going to have to hit the open market. He might not come back. So for goalies, Aiden Hill, you are definitely coming back. We'll offer him exactly what he wants. Hopefully, he returns. Look at how many fucking goalies we have now to trade away, aside from Koltsov, but the bottom 3 especially. Defensively, Drysdale Haig, Harrison Cripps. We have McIsaac as an RFA. We'll qualify him. Kvasha cannot be signed because he can't go back to junior. We'll cut Cody Ceci. We'll cut Cam Fowler. And I'm not worried about signing any of those other guys off of potentials. I mean, most of these guys are fucking tragic. I guess, well, McQuaid does play in junior, but his overall is so low, he's never going to make it. Yeah, they're just never going to make it. Right wing side. I got Grachev as an RFA. Qualify him. Robichaud, we can sign and then have him here in the preseason and send him back to junior to get that extra development. Tarky, we're not going to do anything with. Same with Latikainen. Yeah. Left wing side, holy RFAs. Olesen, $4.2 million qualifying offer. Spence, Kevin He, all get qualified. Bjorkstrand, Kravchenko, we're not going to worry about any of you guys. And then for the centers, Ratu, big qualifying offer for him as well. Not really worried about my thought. Okay. So for the RFAs, let's start with McIsaac because it should be cheap. Get him 3 years, still have RFA status. That'd be perfect. Grachev. We can go 2 years and still have RFA status. He accepts. Kevin He. We can go 3 years and still have RFA status. So we can just go ahead and overpay him because it's not a big deal. We'll go 175 for the 3 years. He accepts. Malcolm Spence, who did disappoint in the playoffs. 4-year deal to bring him to the end of his RFA status would be nice. It could also be a bit of a risk instead of not signing him to a long-term deal now. But he might also not stick around the whole time because he was really bad in the playoffs. We'll go 2.8 for 4 years. Ratu. Shit. Guys, there's a chance Ratu's gone. Unless he accepts the qualifying offer, he's out. Yeah, the interest just isn't going to be there. If he doesn't take the qualifying offer, he's gone. Olesen. If Olesen doesn't take the qualifying offer, he's gone. Olesen and Ratu, both unlikely to return, which sucks because they were big parts of this team. I don't want to say that we may have missed a window over these last 2 seasons, having not won the cup. We may have missed the window. There is a chance that our best opportunity is behind us. Aiden Hill is back. Malcolm Spence. William McIsaac. McIsaac, in fairness, took the qualifying offer. So we're going to have 2 RFAs on the open market out there. That's rough. And Chevel Dave is gone. I can't re-sign Ivankovic until that period's over. Sandin was gone. In terms of if you're asking if he was traded, we're about to find, or if he signed with the team we traded him to, we're about to find out. Which, of course, was Vancouver. Yeah, in terms of contracts, I had to wait until the year rolled over. Which now includes Ivankovic, which... Now, the good news is he's young, and we'll still have some contract control. But as it stands right now, we are not going to have an easy negotiation with Jack either. Fuck. This is starting to go very poorly. It was looking so good until it wasn't. We're going to try to re-sign Semyon Frolov already. And, okay, so he won't be an RFA next year. What about Luv Harenstam? 2 years for him. Keep him around. And then Aiden Hill, obviously, we can go on a year-by-year basis. But yeah, Jack, it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. All we can hope to do is just delay year after year with his RFA status. But that probably means he's on borrowed time. Osborne. I mean, he's a third pairing guy. He will be an RFA, so we have that going for us. McCarthy, also a third pairing guy. We might as well let those guys go to potential RFA status. Most of these guys. Fiddler would be good to get now, especially if he continues to improve. Henrik's, not that I think you're going to be very good. His expiry status is already going to be up. McIsaac. Already took the qualifying offer, so I can't talk to him yet. Suryatsky. UFA status is coming due. Tarasov. Can get him for 2 years. Zaitsev. Can get him for 2 years, so just trying to do what we can here. Cameron. 3 years for Carson Cameron. Okay, so then all of these guys are in, aside from Fiddler, heading into the last year of RFA status. Probably not going to sign them yet. I don't think we have to. Right wing side, Schmidt. It's worth trying to sign you here. 3 years left. We'll see if he takes it. Olesen being an RFA. Lyndon Lakovic. 3 years left before he hits the final year of RFA status. 1.7 on the fourth line, maybe the third. It's not bad. John Mustard. Hitting the end of RFA status. Stenberg, you might become a very important part of this team, buddy. This would be a steal of a deal for him, and there we go. Okay, so that is our team currently taken care of as best it can be. Vancouver did not re-sign Rasmus Sandin. So we got a 14th overall pick. They got nothing. Let's go to coaching staff first. We'll name Redden the head coach just so that the game doesn't flip out. Shovel Dave went up to an A+. Jesus, okay. He was an A for all the years he was here. If we can bring back Solomon, that is good news for us. Ooh, the A goalie coach. Jesus. Okay. We got to go for Bryson Copeland here. Got to do it. Got to do it. Let's go ahead and max this out. There are some other coaches that are better than the A- that we have, but I'm not too worried about that. So that shouldn't be a big deal. All right, and then really quickly, the scouts. I don't think we lost any, but we did lose a few. Yeah, so Obergauer, Lindbergh, and Vanier. Laurent Vanier. There we go. So on the free agent list this year, whom is amongst them? Sandin wants $12 million. Let's look at the RFAs first. In goal, Jan Bednar. No thank you, obviously. Defensively, it's Wallander and Karki. No thank you to either of them. Right wing side, nobody. Left wing side, Olesen, Isaac Rosen, and Petrov. And then for the centers, Ratu, of course, Zach LaRue, Persson, and Loshko. So nobody that we're going to want there. Ratu's asking for 10 currently. Olesen's asking for 9.5. Good chance that they're both gone. Where did Demidov go? He's probably still with Montreal. They had the money to sign him because Matheson's big-time deal expired. For the goalies, highest rated out there is Nabokov. Connor Ingram as well. Nabokov's not bad, but we don't need him. For prospects, as always, I'm going to wait a week. But there is 72 overall at 20-year-old Roberto Tuzzolino. A tremendous player that the Habs did not come to terms with. That's insane. But yeah, I'm going to give the other teams a chance to get him because we don't need the help. It's fine. Defensively, Sandin wants all the money. Outside of him, it's Mukamadulin, Barons, Pertz, Ferraro, Martin Fehervari. Again, nobody that we need. Prospects, a dude named Denisov, who is trash. And a medium 4, a great player named Derek Gilroy. 23rd overall. What is going on in Montreal? They're out of their minds. Not signing Gilroy and that goalie. Well, we'll see if either somehow make it to us, although I doubt it. And then for the forwards, Svechnikov, Lafreniere, Gritsuk, Bjorkstrand, Tomasino. The top names. I mean, you can see obviously the money that Svechnikov and Lafreniere want. We are not allowed to spend that much money on a player. But in terms of the prospects, Jordan DeMay. He's 25, though. Matt Coronado, Nathan Gaucher as the top options. So, yeah, there really isn't much that we'd be looking at anyway here. Also, Jonas Enroth definitely retired because he wasn't... I just remembered he wasn't on our goalie list. Copeland's on. That's an A-rated goalie coach, which is outstanding. And it looks like the scouts are going to sign as well. Dave's here. Lyndon Lakovic looks to have accepted his deal. Fiddler accepted. Schmidt, okay. So we're securing our future a little bit here. Saving some money. This should be done every year this way. Okay, are either of those two younger players still available? The answer is no, I'm guessing. Yeah, both are gone. Okay. That's fair. Totally fair. So yeah, Victor Hedman to Columbus. Jesus. Adam Larson to the Islanders. John Tavares to Dallas. Ornato to Detroit. Jake McCabe on the move. Chinnikov. Leafs bringing in some physical defensemen. Broberg to Washington. Jordan DeMay to Utah. Monahan to Detroit. Brad Marchand to Vancouver. JT to Dallas about 12 years too late, right? I want to know where those players went. So Gilroy went to Philly. Where'd the goalie go? St. Louis. Okay. Svechnikov back to Carolina. Lafreniere back to the Rangers. And Rasmus Sandin stays in the division. He goes to the Boston Bruins. I almost traded him to Boston at the draft, but said don't want to risk him being in our division. He fucking goes to Boston anyway. And honestly, now you develop Gold Ice Pack after all those years. Now you develop a gold. $11 million for 7 years with a full no movement clause for the 29-year-old Swede. The Atlantic Division just got even more difficult, and it was already incredibly difficult.